welcome back. I'm Deborah, owner and founder of TW365 Bookkeeping's How-To series. We are today going to be talking about how to make deposits. In other words, how to get your money out of your business account into your personal account. That is one of those deposits that we are going to talk about. So here we are on the software. We're going to go to banking because banking is the thing that we do. Change the date as usual. Change the date if you're doing things backward, in behind, if you're doing this weekly instead of monthly. I am going to take money out of my where am I? Out of my cash income account, and put it into my business account. So we divide these separately because each one, you can't do cash and checks all at one time. As you can see, it's one choice. Depending on how much money you have in here and whether you're depositing it all at one time, the reason that we have the balance of what's in your cash income is because that way you don't have to bounce back and forth. Because if you do things the way I do my deposits weekly. So I would add up my cash and make sure that it matches this dollar value. And then if it doesn't, I have to double check and make sure. But that's all part of the background businesses. So anyway, 8550 is what we are going to transfer basically or deposit from the cash income account into my actual bank account, which means after I do this, I have to go physically to the bank with my cash in hand and put it in there. So I'm going to call this a cash deposit. The other thing that I do for many of these deposits is I write the names of who these came from. So I'm going to put this and I'm going to put Kathy M, Bob P. You can do whatever you need to so that you know that where all this information comes from. You can put, right, I could do T McDuff, right? Depending, you do you, and then you do your business, and however that tracks. But that way, when you go back and you look at what's going on, you're like, oh yeah, that's where that information came from. When you are reconciling and making sure that your bank statement matches your bookkeeping software here. So with cash, there is no transaction. There's no fee to go with that. That is in a different video. And so then we're going to just hit record transfer. And then this screen will get out of the way. Again, as always in many things, I just double check stuff. I like to go into accounts. I want to make sure that in my asset account that there is a higher dollar value in my Dirigo checking account or the Rainbow, whichever one I chose, which is again why we label them as we need, and that my cash income account went down to 0. I can view that, and here it shows, okay, here's the 8550 that I took in for cash. This is one transaction, but the example doesn't match. But in case the 8550, let's say, was these multiple numbers of people, I can double check that I have all of that matching because these all match the number of people that technically would be listed all down here in individual transactions to add up to this 8550. So again, you can track and follow where your cash came from, where it went, how it went from one account to the other. But that is how you do a transfer for cash. I'm going to do another one here because maybe back here I did one. Where is it coming from? I'm going to take it from my checking income, which at the moment we haven't done any checking income transactions. But maybe that just means something I need to go backwards into. I'm going to put it into my Dirigo checking. And let's say we have $120 in checks, right? And then I'm going to say check deposit is equal to however many people that was. Maybe that's Harry Smith. And maybe it was only one person, right? A check for $120 and record transfer. And then what do I teach? Always go back and make sure that it goes into the right places, right? My income in the Dirigo checking went up, and this shows a negative amount because I haven't entered that checking income, that check into this, just because this is an example of how to do this. But let's say I have I'm running to the bank to do the cash and oh, I didn't put the check in. I'll come back and do that. And then this would then be 0 because I physically do obviously have a check in my hand to do all of that. But that is the simplicity again of how simple it is to record or transfer money from one account to the other. So Next video is going to be how to do that with a credit card like income like Square. So until then, for more how-to videos with TW365 BK, please like and subscribe below. Also in the description is the link to TW365 Bookkeeping,